Hello guys, we're about one here, and today coming at you with a new video of Yu-Gi-Oh! Good or Bad, a segment on my channel where I talk about a card in the game that's recently come out, or a card that came out maybe a while ago that I consider to be good or bad, and just like to discuss it. Recently, a new card came out that just the other week. I'm making it in the same week, but just last week. It's a new hand trap card that I'm guessing you guys should actually know what I'm talking about, which is Yashiki Warashi. She's one of the four sisters from the Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, and Spirit and Reaper collection. So she is the fourth sister. Right now, I believe I don't really know what her name is, but I believe one of her names is Mansion or something like that, to do with a mansion, which kind of makes sense because her artwork is in a mansion. But yeah, so she is the latest ghost girl. Four sisters, kind of like the four maidens. It's kind of like in Ruby, which is cool because we currently have the Spring Maiden, the Autumn Maiden, and the Winter Maiden or the Summer Maiden, one of the two out of these. So this is the final one, and so she is the final hand trap. Of course, she is the last of the four sisters. We've gotten one of them over the past few years, but this one isn't as good as the rest of them. This one is actually weaker than the rest of them, and the reason I'm talking about that is because it can be really good in situations, but it's not really good in this format. So I wanted to talk about her. Let's get into her effect though as well, so you know what I'm on about. So Yashiki Warashi is a level 3 Earth Zombie, 0 defense, 1800 attack. It's a tuner effect as well. Its effect is you can only use this card's name effect once per turn, so like every other hand trap in the game. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that includes any of these effects, you can discard this card to get the activation. First one you can negate. Adds a card from your graveyard to hand, deck, or extra deck. So essentially, Warrior Returning Alive, anything that would shuffle back into deck, or anything that would just like compulse to the extra deck from the graveyard. So like Omega, it can negate Omega's effect in the graveyard, so that's an effect I can do. Second effect, supposed to summon from the graveyard, so Soul Charge, Call of the Haunted, Monster Reborn, all of those. And banish a card from the graveyard, so like Mizuki, DD Crow, or the Ally of Justice one that banishes from grave, Light Monster from grave. So this can essentially negate all of those. And basically, this is Necro Valley on legs, essentially. This is the monster version of Necro Valley as a hand trap. So, why does this card seem bad? Well, this card does have a few bad points, so we'll start off with those in this video. We'll start with the bad points, because I usually like to start with the bad points, then go to the good points of the card, because that way you get to see the good parts of it at the end, and we're not really ending with a bad thing, we're ending with a good thing, which is why I like to do it like that. But yeah, so the first bad point is it doesn't touch the board in any way. So what do I mean by it doesn't touch the board? It doesn't actually affect your opponent's board. Seeing as it can't touch your opponent's monsters in the main monster zone, or your opponent's spent trap cards, the spent trap cards zone, it won't really be doing much. It can't really stop your opponent from doing anything good. So it won't stop your opponent from doing anything such as that. And because of this, it won't stop your opponent from building a board. Like, maybe it could stop a Soul Charge if they need that Soul Charge to build a board. But it's not really going to stop anything like that. Unless you're up against, like, World Chalice and they summon Exodius, and then Exodius's effect is activated, and you negate it with this. But I don't actually think you can negate it, because Exodius isn't actually an effect to summon. It isn't actually an effect to shuffle away. It's a summoning condition, so I was an idiot to say that. But basically, it stops all it doesn't really affect your opponent's board, so it can't really do anything there. It can stop it can stop the soul charge maybe as well, but if they're soul charging, they're going for game anyway. And if you negate the soul charge, they're not really going to care because they probably already have a board set up to play with the soul charge. Another bad point is it doesn't destroy, like its sister Ash Blossom, it doesn't really destroy anything, so it won't really be affecting your opponent's board in any, it won't really be getting rid of a card such as like Firewall Dragon, which this card can negate because it has the potential to touch the graveyard, which is one of the good points in the next part, but I'll get onto that. It doesn't destroy the card, which is very, very bad at times because you really want to be able to just destroy what you are making. And I am stretching my leg out because it hurts. Making this video on my bed, not a good idea. But because it doesn't destroy a card, it won't really be affecting your opponent's board in any way, shape, or form, which is kind of bad. And I am too far away from the camera. Move my leg back. Move forward. I am all over the place in this video. But yeah, because it doesn't destroy, it really doesn't affect your opponent too much. Because of that, it's not as good as Ash Blossom, because Ash Blossom can negate a search, a summon, or anything that touches the deck, which is much more relevant than the graveyard. So, yeah. And one of the final bad points is doesn't do much in this format. The card doesn't really do much in this format. And I know this card is coming out in Flames of Destruction, which is not 2 sets away. Which is our May set, so it's 4 months away. But I'm pretty sure that our format is still going to be going strong even to that format, because most of the cards in this format right now, they're not doing much. Like they're doing well. This card won't do much. Like what can this card actually stop in this format? In Pendulum Magicians, it can stop the Black Fang. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo! If they're stopping the Black Fang, sure, you can stop the Black Fang, but was it really worth it? Well, of course it would be worth it because you're negating a summon, but the Black Fang isn't all important in the Magician deck, in my opinion. What in Spirals, they can stop the Big Red, they can stop the... they can stop the... Resort. No, not the Resort, sorry. They can stop the Mission Rescue. The Mission Rescue. That will basically summon from the graveyard. When it's on board, they can negate the return from hand to graveyard. From graveyard to hand, which is something it can stop. In Trickstars, you can stop the reincarnation from the graveyard. Yeah, and even in the ABC, you can stop the A effect. Like, sure, those are very niche areas where it can stop, but there are options where you can stop. But you're not really going to ever use them in this situation, because the card, if it can only stop one thing that isn't really important, the card isn't going to be very good, which is one of the main reasons that I wanted to say this point. Because the decks in our format right now, which will probably be here until past Flames of Destruction unless Konami properly hit them, such as Spirals, which will probably be hit heavily soon, they won't... This doesn't do much to those cards. This doesn't do much to those decks. Like, Pendulums especially, they don't affect the graveyard whatsoever, so they don't give a damn about the graveyard. Trickstars, sure, you can negate their reincarnation, but they won't care because they have other means to burn you to death. And if they're doing it, if you had Yarashi, I'm just mispronouncing, Yashiki Warashi, if they had Yashiki, then it's probably going to get banished from hand anyway because of the reincarnation in general. So the facts that it doesn't touch your opponent's board to stop them in any way, shape, or form is pretty big and is a big problem as well. It only touches the graveyard, which isn't very important right now. It doesn't destroy, which... If this card destroyed, it would be a lot better because it would be just increasingly better. This effect isn't as good because of that. And it doesn't do much in this format whatsoever, which is a very big problem. Like, even later on down the line, I don't think Tremors care about the graveyard either, from what we've seen, and still, with that, it doesn't really matter. Like, this card doesn't do enough, in my opinion, to be considered a good card. But What are its good points? Let's move on to the good points, because of I've been rambling on quite a bit in this part of the segment. So its good points. Its good points is obviously it's a hand trap. That's very good in general. Hand traps are always good in the game. No matter what you're looking at, we've had hand traps throughout the ages, just being incredibly good. Seeing as we've got Ghost Ogre, we've got Ash Blossom, we've got Drone Lockbird, we've got all sorts. It's a hand trap, so just being a hand trap in general, it's really good in that point where it can be used as a hand trap just to be able to disrupt your opponent at any point where this card is actually able to be used. So that's one of the first good points, which is obvious. It's a hand trap. It can stop cards like Monster Reborn, such as Soul Charge, Call of the Haunted, Monster Reborn itself. It can stop cards like those that would just disrupt your opponent, that would just give your opponent free advantage. So anything that says Summon from the Graveyard, just negated, can stop those very easily, which is really, really good. And it stops banishing from the graveyard, which I find to be kind of contradictory, because zombies, Shiranui zombies to be exact, like to do that a lot. They like to banish from the graveyard, and this stops them from being able to banish from the graveyard. So they want to activate Mizuki, to negate the Mizuki. They want to activate a Skull Servant card, then negate the Skull Servant card. If they want to use the Shiranui Solitaires, effect, negate the Solitaire. If they want to use Snow, negate Snow. This card essentially says no to any of those effects, and it's really contradictory because this card loves to do that, which is really, really good. The fact that it's a walking Necro Valley on legs is really powerful because of this fact, and I feel like this is actually really, really good in that point, just because it's able to stop multiple things from activating in the graveyard, which, sure, as I said, graveyard isn't very important, but because it's a hand trap, that kind of boosts it a little. And the bad points, so far, I've said, they are bad points, but there are also good points. The point of this segment is that they're good or bad points. What am I saying? But just being able to negate something such as Fairy Tale Snow, or Mizuki, or Plague Spreader, or Glow Up Bulb, or any of these cards, just being able to negate any of them, it's very powerful. Obviously, this card is going to be the best against Light Sworn, right? Right, because you can negate this stuff. But even if you try to negate the Snow, they're just going to banish again, which is another 14 card, which makes the Snow a 14 banish, but still, being able to disrupt that point, it's still very good. So, what else could it sort of interact with as well? It could interact with any card that has the potential to touch the graveyard, such as Firewall Dragon. You can negate a Firewall Dragon, even if it's not targeting the graveyard, I believe, because it has the potential to touch the graveyard, which is very good, in my opinion, just being able to negate that effect, full on, negate. It has the potential to negate anything that would touch the graveyard in any way, shape, or form, and because of that, it's really good. Just being able to say Firewall effect and then be like, no. My hand trap is superior. My Yashiki is superior. It is the superior card in this form. But yeah, so just being able to negate anything with the potential is really, really good as well. And the last point I wanted to point out for the good points is it stops all cards with potential to touch the graveyard, and I just stated this point. It will negate anything that would touch the graveyard if it wanted to touch the graveyard. So, Firewall Dragon, as I said, touches the graveyard, negate. So yeah, like there's also, and also it does also affect quite a few decks outside of the meta itself. It affects Lightsworn, as I said. It affects Paleo. It affects Frogs. It affects Monarchs. It affects quite a lot of things. It does affect cards that will it does affect quite a lot of decks. Like it's a good tier 2 side deck card, in my opinion. It's a good tier 2 sort of card to side, and because it can be wary of those side deck, can be wary of the tier 2 side meta, which is really good, just being able to interrupt the tier 2, which could pop up at any point or time. Also, this card, another thing that I can negate because of its potential is Cyframes. Basically, because it has the potential to, because every Cypher Create Frame has the potential to summon a driver from the graveyard. I believe this is right. This is what I heard from other people. Um, because it has the potential, you are able to negate a Psy-Frame. So if they activate a Psy-Frame, you can negate said Psy-Frame. Just like Ash Blossom, you can negate it with the Ash Blossom. So, because even if they're not summoning from the graveyard, they still are trying to summon, they still have the potential to summon from their area. So technically, you can negate it. So this card is able to negate every Psy-Frame as well, which is really good. So this card has the ability to negate other hand traps, which is actually very powerful as well. So its good points. Its good points is it can interrupt with anything that would touch the graveyard, which is just like all of these points put in one. It's a hand trap, which is really good. It can stop cards like Monster Reborn. It can stop cards that would banish. It can stop any card that would have the potential to touch the graveyard. Psy-Frames, Firewalls, every Paleo in the game. Like it stops these cards. It will stop these cards just because of that fact, which is really, really good. So that it has a lot of power, and it can stop recycling as well, like from World Chalice. I presume I'm gonna negate that World Chalice. I'm gonna negate that good stuff from the World Chalice, right? But yeah, it has that potential, which is really good. But guys, it's bad points. Let's go over the bad points again. It doesn't touch the board, which is really bad. Only touches graveyard-based effects, which can be really bad in a format like this. Doesn't destroy, which should have been a thing, in my opinion, on this card, just because it's not as powerful as it could be. And doesn't do much in this format, which is a big problem. But its good points, on the other hand, is it's a hand trap. Hand traps have standed the test of time, and they always will be used in the game. It stops Monster Reborn cards, such as Soul Charge, called the Haunted. It stops banishing from grave effects, such as Mizuki, such as the Monarchs, Pantheism on the Monarchs. It can stop that as well, I believe, because it has a banishing effect. And it stops all cards with the potential to touch the grave, such as Firewall, such as Psy-Frames. Like, the card has its good points, the card has its bad points, but the point of this video, guys, is to get your opinions on the card and find out what you think if this card is good or bad from the points that I have stated. Now, I know I've rambled on in this video, but guys, if you enjoyed the video, tell me what you think of Yashiki Warashi. She's a very decent card in my opinion. She's not the best card, she's not a bad card, she's not a good card. That's why this video is to decide that. So tell me what your opinions are of this card in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button to show that you enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, press the subscribe button so you get those videos in your subscription box. If you want to be notified of those videos, press the notification button to be notified of those videos so you can be the first ones to watch them. And yeah guys, Yashiki Warashi, you're an alright card. But hey, what do you guys think? As I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. The sound trap is interesting. Can't wait to see what happens with it. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and check out the links in the description for the previous video, and the link to my Facebook page where you can see previous videos that I've posted there, and any other information that I may have posted there. I hope to see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.